Good. Maybe a little too much there. Let me get a rag. I started working on this bunk bed again. Second one for someone else. Hey, Daniel, welcome. Daniel Gandar, friend of the program. Chardonnay, welcome. Oh, good, man. I'd love to see it. I have a little block. I want to make sure I'm chiseling this at the right angle here. Where is my little 20-degree block? I got knocked down a while ago. I had two of them actually. This is 1,000 grit waterproof sandpaper right here. I'm just trying to hone this chisel a little bit because I'm gonna carve this tenon right here that's gonna be on a bunk bed. If you watch my short is all about me trying to use the router to route these off, and I did. I don't know whether it's worth it or not. Yep, working on another bunk bed for someone else. Exact copy, but I'm gonna do this one better because the last one had some mistakes we talked about last time, I think. And I wanted to make sure I got this lumber before the prices all go up, which is gonna happen soon for any lumber that's not made domestic, you know, just like any product. Yeah, I'm gonna make this bunk bed, I think it's gonna be smooth because the other one I did without plans. And this one, I know exactly what I need to do. Let's get in there. Yeah. Daniel, am I talking about tariffs? Maybe, yeah. There's just no doubt, man, if you know anything about economics, it gets passed to the consumer. So hopefully, you know, I'm not saying it's gonna be the end of the world. It will cost us some money. So if you have things like supplies you need, the supplies that I needed for that bunk bed project might go up. People also use it as a way to price gouge. So they hear that tariffs are gonna raise prices. A merchant hears that. You see it with gas prices because like at the gas station, when they're selling gas, they're getting it wholesale and they're also getting it at the other price from back. They're always buying oil at the optimal price. They're not buying it when it's high like you are. So we go to the gas station and the price is up. In reality, unless they bought that day, the price isn't up for them. It's only up for us, if that makes sense. But yeah, I knew I'm so broke, man. I had to get if there was any chance that the lumber's price was going to increase, I had to get it. And so I went and got most of it. It wouldn't all fit in the truck, you know. So there's some more I probably need to get, but I wanted to get the bulk of the big boards. And they were getting after me this time because I was picking through the lumber. They don't like picking. because it leaves the stacks uneven. So they kind of harassed me a little bit when I was in there, and I ended up with some boards I might not have otherwise picked. And so I'm not super happy about that part of it, but I like the place in general, and the guy kind of warmed up to me after some time. So yeah. I just want to flatten the bottom of this if there's any kind of burrs or anything on it. Yeah, I don't talk politics. You know that, Daniel. I stay out of politics, so I'm not gonna say one thing either way. I'm just gonna stay away from that issue generally. If people on here want to say political stuff, it might make me uncomfortable, but I don't really care. I'm just gonna stay out of it. So what I really need to do is I need to saw down through this about, you know, a ½ centimeter, which is what it looks like. The amount of waste I still need to take is for the tenon to be 1.5 inches thick. So there's 3/4 of an inch taken off each side of this sandwich board, and then we're left with a 1.5 inch thick tenon in the middle, just like we did on the last ones. But on the last ones, I cut down the top and the bottom. We're not going to do that with this one, I don't think. Might have been a reason I did that. But welcome to Dad's Workshop. Shout out Daniel Gandara, and shout out Chardonnay for showing up. I was early today, so. I don't mind blowing out the saw now because this is my trusty old saw. So I've got my mirror set up so I don't cut too deep here. That's about how deep those need to go. These don't need to be great marks just as long as they stop at that line. Get these sharpening plates out of the way. Oh, I went too deep. I can see it right there. Not too much though. See how easy it takes the waste out when you do that? That's why you do it. This is close to my bench, so. I gotta be careful with this framing chisel because I will take too much out on accident. Probably an unorthodox way to do this, but I just wanted to show you how that's done basically. I'm going to take this down over here. If you do this, there's less a chance that you're going to blow out the wood too. That's why you do this, right? It's going to take it to where you saw it to. Basically like a type of stop cut. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. Beautiful Monday night. Birds are chirping. Bees are buzzing. Flies are biting. Kind of a little brute force in that one there. Am I still within the screen? Looks like I'm kind of out of the screen here. Let me pull back a little bit. Warm night here, so you can hear all the fans and the air conditioner in here. I got a lot of stuff to try to keep me cool in Dad's workshop here. Ah, man, I mean, I broke. That's touch and go. That's not a super great job. We get another chisel. I think this one's pretty sharp here. No, it doesn't feel like it. Just needs to be a little bit more there. This is why you need a sharp tool, because these little corners, to get the corners down, this is what we did on the last bunk bed. I mean, it's just it's just a tremendous amount of work doing one of these by hand, but that's the way they always did it in the past, man. I feel like, you know, we have all these luxuries now, like I have air conditioning in here. I should be able to put something by hand, no problem, you know? People have done a lot harder stuff. It's getting better. Daniel asked me about tariffs and then logged off or something. Daniel, you still there, buddy? I didn't scare you away, did I? Because you know I'm not gonna get into politics either way on here. That wasn't my intention there. Reading glasses. It's getting a little bit close. And I'm getting a little bit old. That's just about there, man. I want it to be clean. Last time it was so ratchet looking, man, when I finished with it. I was just not happy with that at all. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, folks. We really build stuff in here. We ain't playing. I'm gonna flip this and do the other side because this, I know there's a little bit of lines right there, but we're getting there, you know. Aim for perfection, achieve mediocrity, you know. Yeah, I guess a machine could do all that, right? Theoretically. I'm just trying to dress this up, get it nice and clean. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. Click that subscribe button. Join the Discord. Right now we are building a second bunk bed. This right here is a through mortise that's going to go through the bunk bed post and have a pin that goes through the back of it. Bear with me for a second while I flip it. Tough. See, I made a little bit of a mistake in this cut right here too. You can see it. It's just gonna have to. I'm just gonna have to live with that. I don't think it's gonna structurally affect it. I mean, in a way that's gonna compromise the piece. I mean, it's not. It doesn't look great, but I can't afford another tie beam, so it's gonna have to do. We'll just take it down to here. So unfortunately, it looks like when I was sawing this stop cut here, I didn't have my mirror up. And so I missed a spot there where I went through, and I really hate that. But all I can do is work around that right now. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. There's a lot of you in here right now. Click that subscribe button. Click the like button. We're working on a bunk bed set here. Right now I'm showing how to cut these through mortises. We did this before, but we didn't do it as cleanly. So we're gonna do this the right way. Let me put my mirror right here so I can see the line on the other side. That was the problem before. When you're hand sawing, to keep your hand level, it's real difficult because you're pulling, especially with one of these saws, you're pulling, right? You gotta slow your stroke down so that you don't overcut. These are basically just stop cuts here. That line is off right there, I can see. I can go a little bit below that line. I drew that with a marking gauge, right? You can see somehow I didn't notice that edge right there. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, folks. Glad to have you all here. I'm gonna go a little bit below that line there. I've used one of these Ryoba saws for so long. I don't know how to use a regular push saw anymore. I only know how to use pull saws, so just something that happened. This is my favorite one too. It got lost for a while. I had to use cheapo Harbor Freight version. Shout out Harbor Freight. It won't be cheapo if you sponsor my YouTube channel. It's like, nah, it will be. Can't lie to the people, man. Truth in advertising. my review is that the Harbor Freight Ryoba saw is not very good. That's not what this is though. I've had any number of these type of saws too. So kind of have a little bit of experience with which ones are good and which ones are not so good. Let me move my little mirror down. All right, there we go. Everybody can see. Got all these little cuts here. Now, it's gonna be fun, right? Because we're gonna take a chisel, and where all these cuts are, we're gonna follow that grain down, right? It seems like common sense, but a lot of people don't know this. When you do woodwork, you're trying to use the weakness of the wood to your advantage when you're crafting your piece, right? So if I put some value into this live stream, this will be it. You're also trying to use the strength of the wood to your advantage when you finish your piece. If we're being snobs about this, I really shouldn't be hitting a framing chisel. It's really meant to be pushed like this. See how easy that comes off there? Taking it right down to that line. There's a knot right there. Let's get it started here. It's the fun part, right? Woodwork 101. Use the strength of the wood to your advantage in your finished piece and the weakness of the wood to your advantage when you're crafting the piece. That's why, you know, those big, huge pit saws that you sometimes see on the walls of antique stores, 2 handles meant to be used by 2 people. Those rip cut entire trees. They really didn't have to be super sharp because all you're trying to do is rip the grain, right? So you're trying to come straight down the grain. So all you got to do is just get into the wood. That's why there's not a lot of teeth. You look at the rip cut side of a Ryoba saw, right? The teeth are wider apart. This is the crosscut side where the teeth are fine. On this side, meant to be done with the grain, right? There's less teeth and they're not very sharp. So my point is, that's what a rip saw is, really using the grain of the wood to your advantage. That's why they look like they're dull and won't work. To a practiced hand, it works very well, you know? I still have to pare away some. I looked at the line and I'm still shy of the line, which is good. I don't want to go too far. Ooh, that's right up to the line, isn't it, guys? Beautiful. That's exactly what we want. And a nice square finish, like dressed up, looking nice, not sloppy like my last ones. That's why you do things a couple times and then you learn how to do them, you know? That was my first joint bunk bed, so. This one's gonna be nice. Now I'm gonna take my other chisel. This is what I do. I've seen woodworkers do this, is they come across diagonally. It's almost like a mini plane. find the spot you're trying to take waste from, right? And you diagonally, and you have to go over it again with the grain to like clean it up. But this like gets it nice and flat. It's the back side of the chisel here. Back to the other side. I'm barely even putting any pressure down. I'm just trying to find the spots that are slightly raised, like right there. What's up, chat? What's going on, chat? If you're new here, drop a comment. It's okay to say hi. We got friends of the show that kind of sit back. They're just sitting back right now. Drop a comment in the chat, you know. Just say hello so I can shout you out. There's a lot of you in here, so appreciate you all. Love you all. Man, that's looking pretty good. And I'm down, whoop, preparing line there. I'm a little shy of it right on the end here. Where's Mike at? I don't see any. Oh, I'm like in the wrong part of the chat here. Oh, Mike, sorry about that, man. For some reason, that's why I was like, what's up, chat? Because I didn't see anything. Oh, Mike is making stuff. Welcome to the family. Yeah, well, so Mike, let me get back to your first comment. Yeah, so we definitely do a book. We're going to do a book of plans, but we have to get these plans put into a format that people can digest now, because like people want to look at computer aided design type layouts. So we're gonna look at laying one of these bunk beds out in there. Definitely gonna do that. So Chardonnay, shout out for that comment. Appreciate that comment. And then Mike says, let me go back to his first comment. Oh yeah, appreciate you, Mike. Trying to get me likes, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, this is different than. So Mike said, since I started my channel, I have been welcomed into so many families, and I love it. The support of the community has been amazing. You're exactly right, Mike. YouTube is a positive place where we share ideas and we try to be welcoming to each other. Now, I'm not going to tell you I'm always nice. Let me turn the camera so we can be seen here. I'm not going to tell you I'm always nice, especially to trolls, and sometimes I do lose it myself. But at the same time, this is not TikTok. We're a community here. We understand the importance of. I mean, YouTube it's a establishment now. It's like the same thing as a university, basically, or somewhere where minds come together. You know, think of like Timbuktu University or something where great minds just concentrated. YouTube is like that now. Not all the minds are so great, but there is a lot of information and a lot of brains on YouTube there to be harvested. You know. So yeah, the trolls actually, you ain't doing nothing until you got haters. So yeah, that's how that goes. A lot of people watching don't like. A lot of people watch who are not subscribed. So make sure you click that subscribe button. I love you anyways. You can do what you want to do. Not you, Mike. Appreciate you, Mike. But in general, I know that many people are not subscribed who watch it, right? And also many people don't click that like button. Click the like button, folks. I'm going to finish this 10 and I'm going to go over to the other side. I thought it was going to be a pain in the butt to do those because I routed them down to where there was like a 1/4 inch left. But honestly, that was fun to do with y'all. I appreciate that. And I'm going to flip it over to the other side and do the other side. That little crack right there that I was talking about, it's not going to be a big problem, I don't think. I don't think it's going to structurally affect this this member of the structure, which is what this piece is. No, it doesn't cost anything to click the like button, folks. I like all of you. Can you like my YouTube live stream? Just click that like button. And all it does is just, even if you dislike it and you're watching me because you're like, oh, I hate that guy, that redhead. He's a ginger. I hate those people. What is he doing? That's a reason you're watching. And so click the like button, because if you love to hate me, then that's a reason to be watching. You know? Think about it, man. I really think like that. If I hate someone, if I got a problem with them, it's usually because there's something going on, right? I have some feelings. I'm in my feelings about something. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate Chardonnay. Shout out big time friend of the program, Chardonnay. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing here, man. We're gonna take this down. There's a little blowout here, but we're gonna go. Now that stop cut is a little shy. Yeah, I just got, first of all, with the blocks are extremely difficult. So let me explain why my last couple projects were not as good as the bunk bed. So I wanted to do a waterfall table, but I got to get a piece of 3/4 inch plexi. I wanted to do a, we finished a little coffee table we did to get us away. Then I started working on these joined building blocks, and I can't tell you all how frustrating it was for me, because I need a bench vise, and I was like trying to clamp these pieces up in the bench. I was making huge mistakes with the joinery. I was like cutting too much off. I think I was not in the frame of mind to be able to handle that at the moment. So I got an order for another bed. I'm gonna make the bunk bed. It's gonna be different than the last one in some way, but in general follow the same design, because the design is good. So just wanted to explain why that's happening. Definitely check out my shorts and my other videos. All my lives are recorded and made public. Even when I drop the camera or bust my phone or the microphone, it's still all public. Even when I've like Heather and I were cursing at each other and stuff. Not really. Maybe once or twice. All right, let's take this down to the line here. I got to lean this back because what's happening is I'm getting to that line in the front and not the back. So with a pull saw, your natural inclination is to do this, right? With the index finger and pull, but really best to hold it like this so that there's like an even amount of pressure. With a push saw, you're probably doing this, right? People are, that's the tendency. That's what I can see the knot. See the knot on you guys' side? That's why that sounded like that. It was difficult to cut through. I didn't even see it. That might cause a problem in a couple minutes when we chisel through this. I might make 2 cuts through here because the knot. Heather, if you're there, is the Amazon list linked to YouTube channel or Discord, or is it in both? This knot right here is going to cause problems when we chisel it out. It might want to pop all the way out when we put a chisel in there. So we're going to have to keep that in mind, that that's there. I can saw really fast through this, but that's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is just get this mark down to this pairing line here. That's what I want. why I slow my cut down every once in a while, make sure I'm not going through that spot. There we go. Oh yeah, I do have dad jokes. I do have dad jokes. This wouldn't be Dad's workshop without the dad jokes. I'll save a few though. PG-13, man. That's where I want. That's actually YouTube is supposed to be PG-13. The whole thing. Technically, YouTube watchers see unaccompanied. See that knot right there? That's gonna give me problems too. I'm gonna hit this one with the saw here 2 more times. Once right here. It's not wanting to. And then I'm gonna go over this one right here. If you ever dealt with a knot, you will know why I'm doing that.